Hello, everyone. My name is Kevin Simpson, co-founder of Resourceya, and we want to welcome you to today's learning session featuring Ty Foster. She's an educator and entrepreneur who's based in Qatar. Just to give you a little bit about Resourceya, it's an easy to use and diverse online platform for teachers to exchange teaching materials. We empower teachers to make a difference. They can find free or inexpensive materials from us that are up to date and appealing. They've been created and tested by colleagues. In addition, teachers can draw inspiration from their colleagues by sharing best practices, recommendations, experiences, perspectives, and ideas with the entire community. So again, that website is resourceya.com. So we're going to deep dive into this conversation with Ty Foster. She is the founding director, managing director of the Kids Spark Group. Welcome, Ty.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Definitely. Awesome. So we're going to start by just share a little bit about you. Tell us about yourself, Ty.
Let's see. I am a French instructor. I taught in the classroom for 21 years and then left the classroom during COVID, not because of COVID, but during COVID, left the classroom and still wanted to teach. So I started the Kids Spark Group. It actually started because a parent that I was teaching private lessons to in Kuwait reached out to me and said, well, my kids are learning online. So do you offer French lessons online? And I hadn't thought about doing that until she said that. So I started with her 3 children online. And then the word kind of spread. She spoke to her friends in Saudi. And then I had some students in the US, some students in Dubai. And I was giving online French lessons, and it really just took off by word of mouth, parents sharing information with each other. And right now I am just in the process of hiring or bringing on 2 new instructors, Spanish instructors, Arabic, French, and we offer lessons online, strictly online to students ages 4 to 12.
Awesome. So it sounds like it was a creation out of, when everybody was teaching online and just taking advantage of the opportunity, which is stellar.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So at the Kids Spark, what's your overall sort of mission and vision?
So our mission is to provide not only outstanding language lessons, but cultural experiences as well. So we don't just do language lessons. For example, students can have cooking lessons, they can have, history lessons, but it's really personalized and customized to the student. So for example, if we have a student who loves Marvel characters, we try to tailor all of her lessons around Marvel characters. So if we're doing a family unit, if she doesn't want to talk about her own family, she can create a fictional family or an imaginary family with Marvel characters. So our thing before we even start the lessons is to get to know the student, get to know the way they learn, what they enjoy doing, what they absolutely do not want to do, because you cannot imagine trying to get a 4-year-old to do something that he or she doesn't want to do. So I think that's what parents really like about our company, is that we take our time getting to know the student.
Love that, and that personalized, individualized approach.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting. I had a call yesterday talk about that. When you said it's not only important to know what they want to do, but what they don't want to do, and making sure that's good.
And have a backup when they say, I'm not doing that.
Or I changed my mind, I'm sure.
Exactly. I'm going to sit here and stare at you.
So part of what you all do at the Kids Spark Group obviously is creating materials. So talk to us about some of just sample materials that you all have created.
So I'll take it back to 20 years ago, 20 plus years ago. My first job teaching French was actually at an elementary school outside of Atlanta, Georgia. And we were funded by a state grant. And when I say funded, I mean like very loosely funded. So there weren't very many funds. So we had to create all of our materials. I mean, I would be up late at night laminating and cutting things out and making props for songs, because I taught kindergartners and first graders. And you have to be very entertaining with that group. And then fast forward to 14 years later, I was still in the same county and we still didn't have a budget. I mean, I was the head of department at that time, and I remember seeing the budget year after year, and next to world languages, it said 0. And so it's like, well, how are we going to teach the kids if we don't have the resources? So for a lot of that time period, I was creating most of the resources. I mean, any of the games or learning activities we used in class. I actually worked with a Spanish teacher at my school to write a Google grant to get a language lab brought into the school. So we did a lot of the behind the scenes work. It was a lot of late nights at school. Now with the Kids Spark group, fast forward to 2014 when I moved to Kuwait, and I noticed in the region, there weren't a lot of collaborative groups for language teachers. Like anytime there was professional development at school, it was for science or math or English. Language teachers were just kind of not, the redheaded stepchildren of the school, but we had to work together to create our own resources. And so I found myself 14 years into teaching, doing the same thing. So with the Kids Spark group having lessons online, most of my materials have to be digital. I don't want to have to email a parent a worksheet and say, print this off and use it at home. And then it has to be interactive. The students have to want to do the activities. It's really easy to push the leave meeting button and the kids know where it is. So it's really easy for them to want to, exit a lesson. And they know how to do it, even at 4 years old. So we have to make sure that it's very interactive. Students are getting up and moving around a lot. They're not just sitting in front of the screen for the entire lesson. So most of the resources I create are, get up, move around, sing this song, listen, draw, collaborative whiteboard activities, that sort of thing.
Perfect.
I'm not sure if you can hear me. I think there's a pause.
Okay,
oh,
yeah,
there we go.
I got you. Yeah. And then one thing, at Resource we talk about is, high quality materials. So in your opinion, what makes a high quality, what is a high quality material?
For me personally, because I'm a language teacher, I'm always trying to hit on the 4 modalities. I want my students speaking. I want them to read, even at a young age. I want them to be able to listen and understand what's being said. And then for the older students, we throw in a little writing. So for me, I'm trying to touch on as many modalities as possible, but I'm also trying to use materials that are interactive because we're not face-to-face. You have to make that connection through a screen, which is not always easy. So interactive materials, touching on the 4 modalities if possible, and also materials that the students enjoy. I mean, it's got to be something they want to do. I always have my students become little mini profs, which are like little mini teachers, right? So if they can teach the material back to me, then I know they've understood the concept. And they like to show off and they're able to do that.
Yeah, I love that in terms of like having them teach others, then you'll know actually if they are aware of it. So some sample, we want to show off some sample materials you have on Resourceya. You have I Spy vegetables. You want to tell us a little bit just about what that is?
Sure. I can actually, if you want me to take over the presentation, I will attempt to. I know we're in Zoom and I use Google Meet, so please bear with me here.
Mom and I were talking about that earlier.
We're going to try this. Give me a second though. Okay. So I'm going to go to this one. No, I think I'm still sharing like all of my. Okay, can you tell me what you are seeing right now?
Yep, we got presentation copy. Oh, I Spy vegetables. It's up.
I Spy vegetables. Okay, so I use I Spy. It can be used, younger students love I Spy, but it can also be used with, I call them my little sparks. They're the 4 to 6 year olds. And my medium sparks, because it's the Kids Spark group, they're the 7 to 9 year olds. And then big sparks are 10 to 12. So this can be used across the board, all age groups. With my older students, I use extension activities. So I Spy, these are the instructions here. There's on the next frame, there's several vegetables. This is for a vegetable unit. You can use it for any kind of unit. You can, family members, anything that you can put visuals on the screen. So the students are tasked with counting each vegetable. So it really forces them to pay attention. I mean, you should see their little face. Their little faces are like this, and they're up in the screen trying to really make sure they get all the vegetables. They use tally marks, which for a 4-year-old is, you know, a little advanced, but I was so surprised that they were able to do this. So they use tally marks to count their vegetables. And then they write the number on the line next to each picture of the vegetable, which that probably takes the longest amount of time, is writing a number for the little ones. And then they have to tell me how many vegetables they found in the target language. So for me, it would be French. You can use it for any language. So here's the little picture that I've used. You can put as many as you want. This is for a younger student, so you can see that there's space in between the vegetables. They can take their time and count them. And then on this sheet, they can actually fill in the frame. So they put 1 tally mark per frame, and that helps them separate the tally marks. They count them up, write the number next to the vegetable, and then they tell me how many they found, okay? As an extension activity, for older students, not only do they tell me how many they found, but they can also describe the color of the vegetables or the shape of the vegetables. They can tell me if they like the vegetables or not, or if they don't like them, if they hate the vegetables. Then it can go into, you know, in a salad, I would put these vegetables. I mean, the number of things you can do with this activity are pretty limitless. And like I said, you can use this type of I Spy with other disciplines as well, with other subject areas as well.
I love it. It crosses so many different, like you're saying, disciplines, from like literacy to numeracy with math, with the tallying, graphing it to like writing. So many ways, even with science. Categorized. And so no, I love it. It is great. So this is one of Ty's resources that's found on Resourceya.com. And before we close with you, Ty, tell us where folks can find out more information about the Kids Spark group, whether they're parents, their teachers. How can they find you?
Sure. I think I have, see if I can show you this instead. Not sure if this is showing. Yes.
Yep.
I swear I'm going to try to use Zoom a bit more. So you can find our website at thekidssparkgroup.com. And this is the site here. You can contact us, obviously, and you can also fill out a contact form. We do offer a free 30-minute intro session where you can meet with me personally. I can talk you through our teaching methods, where our instructors are from, their teaching methods. So it's a free 30-minute online intro session. They can click right here. Also on Instagram, we're just Kids Spark Group on Instagram. And if you go to our website, it has the email address also. Sorry, I'm scrolling down again. When you fill out this contact form at the bottom and submit it, it automatically collects your email. So I can either contact you via email, get back to you, or you can set up an online meeting, which is our version of face-to-face.
Perfect. Thank you, Ty. Thank you for joining us and giving us more information about the Kids Spark group.
No
and
problem.
like we said, to learn more about Resourceya, visit us at resourceya.com. Join us if you're a teacher. Reach out to us if you have any questions. We're excited that Ty was our first guest on our learning session. We plan on hosting various learning sessions with our Resourceya community so people can interact with folks, whether it's live or recorded. We'll be adding this to our YouTube channel, so be on the lookout for that. Again, thanks, Ty, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you.